Well, it is in a way, because like this now, I see they're watching the soccer, and I thought it was the soccer here in South Africa. Now it's overseas. No, it's you can't be without television, because it tells you, and as I say, you like to know about the weather. Like me, I'm a farmer son. I like to know the weather, when it comes up the rain, and that's it. Sort of, you start doing what you want to do, and as I say, like if the sport's on, like only, you know what that means. You know what it is?
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Drugs.
Drugs, yeah.
I've been over.
Hello everyone, my name is Yana Pendula, and in the Transformers, I will be doing the origins and history of television in South Africa. Covering the transition of television by Tinashe, factors that led to television, introductions by Belekile, why television was introduced late, Tony, who accessed television, Nentanda, impact of television, Mod, conclusion, Leslie, and the director.
Hi, I'm going to take you through the transition of television in South Africa from history up until today. In 1971, proposals were made for 3 channels to be introduced in South Africa, but only 1 was introduced. In 1975, main cities were used for experimental broadcasting throughout South Africa, which led to the formal introduction of South Africa in 1976 to television. We find that during that period, funding for television was done through licensing fees paid by the people. But in 1978, advertising was introduced, which also assisted in funding for television. In 1986, we find that the SABC's monopoly was challenged by the introduction of a broadcasting channel named Mnet, which brought great devastation to the SABC. During this period, we found that programming was mainly done through America's programs, because the British had boycotted broadcasting their programs in South Africa because of apartheid. In 1996, we find that 2 years after independence, the SABC reorganized its channels into 3 separate channels that catered for the languages that were used here in South Africa. If we move on to 1998, we find that the SABC's free-to-air monopoly was challenged by the introduction of a channel named ETV. ETV became the first ever channel to broadcast news that was outside the barriers of the SABC. In the new millennium, we find out that there were just some major contributions to developments that were made in television, such as in 2007, there was the introduction, the launch of this business channel called CNBC Africa. Also in 2008, there was this digital technology that was made by the government for people to move from analog viewing to digital viewing. In the same year in 2008, we find that ESAT, the satellite service provider, launched E-News channel, which was under ETV. Also in 2010, we find out there was Top TV, which was made, and also a subscription channel provider. We find out that also, let us not dispute the fact that there were other smaller contributions that were made, like the community television, such as Soweto TV, which was launched in 2007. This is all I have for you. Thank you.
On the elements and factors that led to the introduction of TV in South Africa. The liberals wanted TV because they thought it would agitate for racial integration. The African as well, the opponents, wanted TV because they thought it would plant violent political boundaries for their ideologies. And then the public general, who were also in hand with the liberals, wanted TV because they thought that other countries were doing it, and then why should South Africa do it? And then you look at the civilization and the technological advancements. Almost every country, especially America, TV has been invented, so they thought that South Africa should also go about it. And moreover, the public thought that there would be enough stock without TV, so then TV was introduced in 1970.
1976, television is introduced in South Africa. Pretty late, don't you think? Yeah, it was pretty late. Now we're going to look at the reasons why it was introduced that late. You know, the apartheid government proposed several reasons why they decided to introduce television in 1976. Basically, they were saying TV was going to become a poison in the society. It was going to poison the mind of the natives, who are mostly the black people who were living in South Africa. They thought maybe if they watched television, they were going to see what was happening in other areas of the world, like in America, where the black Americans were fighting against their oppressors, the whites. And now, they were told if they implemented such a policy of introducing television, the blacks here were also going to be voted. That they ended up not introducing television. The apartheid regime also believed that South Africa was not financially stable to establish and to maintain a television station. This was far away from the truth, because South Africa is well known to be an economic giant with infrastructure, minerals, and all. Provided all that, it was going to be like a drop in the ocean to provide funds for television. They also claim that religion was another thing that delayed the introduction of television in South Africa. They believe that the little black box or television, if it was not back then, was going to replace God in the homes of many South Africans. They believe that if one was to spend a day watching television, then automatically television becomes God, and they never wanted that. So that is why they delayed the introduction of television in South Africa.
Hello everybody. My presentation will be based on full access TV. It is said that South Africa had an access on television later than any other developing country. Black people could not access on TV because there was only one channel which was using English and Afrikaans, so people could not access on that TV. And during the apartheid, people were like poor because they couldn't be able to buy television and have access on it. But after the TV was introduced, people who could access on TV were very, very few. And on that time, people were using batteries, generators, and solar. After apartheid, so many people could access on TV because there was channels for them, and they were affording to buy it.
I'm going to say that the impact of television in South Africa. Television brought about a change in the media. People became reliant on television more than radio and newspapers. And also it eliminated the gap between people who could not read and write. They became more fascinated in TV because it provided information with visuals. It brought about AIDS awareness. People did not know much about HIV and AIDS until the introduction of television, and that helped a lot in the health sector. Television also helped people to see the outside world, thus they rose against oppressive things like apartheid. People became socially coherent with other people and they embraced other people's lifestyles that were showed on television. Also, it brought status barriers, as people no longer had equality, the rich and the poor were separated. Thanks. This is another ongoing issue. This was the issue in the introduction of television in South Africa.
I hope you manage to make it clear. Cheers.